In the soft glow of a setting sun, her lips met his in a sweet, innocent kiss. Her first, their first. Love bloomed like a desert rose between Yosu and Magda, a love that would ignite a journey of monumental proportions. Along this journey, they would gather an entourage of apostles, beginning with the faithful duo of Juan and Pedro. Soon, they were joined by Thomas, Bartholomew, Judas, and others, each drawn to Yosu's charisma and the echoes of his apparent miracles. From village to village, town to town, they traversed, their footsteps etching a path into the annals of history. Each place they visited was left touched by the compelling power of Yosu's words and deeds. A blind man saw, a cripple walked. Miracles or the power of suggestion? That was the question that followed them, stirring whispers of awe and skepticism alike. With 11 apostles in tow, Yosu and Magda set out on a path that would forever change history. As they journeyed, doubts and questions began to arise among the apostles. Pedro, a man of keen observation and a heart teeming with curiosity, questioned Yosu about the miracles they had witnessed. "Are you truly a child of God?" Pedro asked, his voice laced with both skepticism and wonder. Yosu, with a sparkle in his eyes and a knowing smile, responded, "I really doubt it, Pedro." The apostles were left bewildered. "How then do you explain that yesterday that blind man saw and that other cripple walked with ease?" "My eyes saw it, Master," Pedro pressed on, refusing to let the matter rest. Yosu's response was both cryptic and enlightening. "Power of suggestion, Pedro, that's all. Faith in whoever speaks to you moves a mountain." His words were a testament to the profound impact belief could have on reality. It was not about divine intervention, he implied, but rather the power of conviction, of suggestion, of faith. Magda, a woman of great wisdom and Yosu's trusted confidant, couldn't help but smile at this exchange. She reminded Yosu of the importance of his actions, of the hope and faith he instilled in people. "Yosu, regarding your works of heart that you possess, you must not be so sincere. That is not the meaning of your actions." Her words were a gentle nudge, a reminder of the weight his actions carried, of the hope they ignited. Yosu acknowledged this with a nod and a promise. "You are right, Magda. I apologize for not telling you what training was about. Now I'll really start." His gaze then drifted to a distant point, a spark of determination lighting up his eyes. He had a mission, a plan. "I wish to see my brother Lazarus, Magda. He will be the first." With a promise to start his real training, Yosu sets his sights on his brother Lazarus for his first real miracle. In the quiet of their childhood home, Yosu approached Lazarus with a plan that would shake the foundations of their faith. An unusual plan, yes, but one that held the potential to sway the hearts of the most hardened skeptics. Yosu, with a sincerity that belied the audacity of his scheme, turned to his brother and said, "Lazarus, brother, I have to pretend a miracle with you." Lazarus, ever the loyal sibling, responded with a mixture of bemusement and caution. "Your wish, brother, is divine order for me. I will help you in any way I can, even though our mother doesn't like it, because with deception you put your life in danger. What do you suggest I do?" Yosu's plan was audacious as it was simple. Lazarus was to feign sudden death, assuring their mother of his safety and the divine protection that Yosu promised. The burial would take place in a tomb cave where Lazarus would reside for 3 days until Yosu would call him forth, simulating resurrection from the dead. Despite the misgivings he held, Lazarus agreed to the plan. "You handle yourself mischievously, brother. For you and your goal, I will do it," he said, a sentiment that revealed the depth of his devotion to his brother's cause. With the blueprint of the plan etched in their minds, Yosu left Lazarus to prepare for his role. "Prepare food and drink and some entertainment, because tomorrow at noon you have to do it. On the 3rd day, at the same time, I will call you from outside, and you will come out." These words echoed in the silence of their home as Yosu, with a heavy heart but steadfast determination, began his journey towards the Sea of Galilee. The stage was set, and the players ready. Now, all they had to do was wait and hope that their plan would convince the world of Yosu's divine lineage. With the plan set, Lazarus prepares for his role while Yosu heads towards the Sea of Galilee. News of Lazarus's death reached Yosu on the second day of his journey to the Sea of Galilee. This message came as a shock to the followers, but Yosu remained unfazed. He knew the path he had set, and he was determined to tread it, even in the face of adversity. When the crowd pleaded for a miracle, he held firm, stating that the third day would be the day of resurrection. The people did not understand. He was booed, his credibility questioned. But Yosu held his ground. The third day dawned, and as the sun reached its zenith, Yosu stood at the entrance to the tomb. He called to his brother, and Lazarus emerged, seemingly brought back from the grips of death. The crowd gasped. The skeptics fell silent. This was a miracle they could not deny. The admiration for Yosu surged like a tidal wave. Words spread like wildfire. Truly, he is the Son of God. Yet, not all were swayed. The priests of the Sanhedrin, the religious elite, remained skeptical. They questioned the authenticity of the miracle, casting doubt amidst the jubilation. Lazarus, the living proof of Yosu's power, was sought for questioning. The danger of exposure forced him into hiding. But this did not deter Yosu. He continued his journey, his followers growing with every step. People did not just follow Yosu for his miracles, they followed him for his message, his teachings, the hope he instilled. They followed him by the hundreds, seeking healing, seeking salvation. The apostles too were drawn in, their initial doubts replaced by a growing faith. They carried with them a simple meal of 13 loaves and 13 fish, a humble reminder of their journey's purpose. In the end, it was not just about the miracles. It was about the message, the hope, the faith. The resurrection of Lazarus was merely a symbol of the greater resurrection, the resurrection of hope, faith, and belief in something greater. Despite the miracle, not everyone was convinced. The priests of the Sanhedrin remained skeptical, forcing Lazarus into hiding. In the face of hunger and need, Yosu found yet another opportunity to perform a miracle. In the midst of their travels, Yosu and his apostles reached the crest of a low hill. Their journey had been long and arduous, filled with teachings, healings, and the occasional miracle. Now they sought a moment of respite, a chance to nourish themselves before continuing on their divine mission. They carried with them a simple meal, a basket containing 13 loaves and 13 fish. It was a modest offering, but one that would satiate their hunger and renew their strength. Yet, as they prepared to break bread together, Yosu's gaze fell upon the crowd that followed them. Hundreds of people, their faces etched with longing and their eyes filled with hunger. They had accompanied Yosu and his apostles, drawn in by the promise of hope and healing. Yet, in their fervor, they had neglected their own needs, their stomachs echoing the emptiness of their desperate lives. Yosu, moved by their plight, found himself at the precipice of a decision. He could easily distribute the loaves and fishes among his apostles, ensuring they were well fed and ready for the journey ahead. Yet how could he ignore the desperate hunger of the people? How could he turn a blind eye to their needs when he possessed the means to alleviate their suffering? And so, Yosu, driven by compassion and a deep sense of purpose, made a choice. He looked at his apostles, then back at the crowd, and made the decision to share their meager meal with the multitude. It was an act of kindness, a gesture of empathy, but it was also something more. It was an opportunity for yet another miracle, a chance to demonstrate the boundless power of faith and compassion. With the crowd's hungry eyes on him, Yosu prepared to perform his next miracle, leaving audiences on the edge of their seats, wondering what he would do next.